Look, you can have paralysis by analysis if you just sit around and try to plot and plan and scheme and try to figure out what's the best approach, and then you just never do anything. Hey, what's up, guys? Dale Valor here from Modern Valor Dating. We're hopping into a brand new series. All right, we just wrapped up a series on the masters of the game. Now we're hopping into something that applies to each and every one of you. But before we get into that, make sure you hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, drop a comment if this applies to you. All right, and let us know what videos you want us to do. All right. This video series is going to be a 10-part series on how to structure your life. All right. And the first video that we're going to be doing today is on your goals. All right. So let's hop into that right now. Number one, clearly define them. All right. So a lot of times people, they think they have goals. All right. But really what they have is just some vague ambition. All right. So like it could look something like this. You know, I want to get a promotion at my job. I want to move into management. I want to save money. I want to quit smoking. You know, things like that where, yeah, those are all noble efforts, but what does it really look like? You know, what does doing that mean? What is your life going to look like once you achieve that goal? You know, really think that through. Use all your senses, man. Use your, you know, what will it feel like? What will it sound like? What will it look like? You know, all these things help so much because now they're clearly defined. Now you know what you're going to be moving into. You know what it's going to look like for you. All right. So take some time, figure that out, meditate on it. What is it going to look like and how is your life going to change? All right. We're going to hop into number two. Let's get it. Number two, micro goals and macro goals. All right. Now here's the deal. Sometimes you set some goals for yourself and you overwhelm yourself because you're like, man, I'm never going to make $1 million. I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to be able to quit smoking. I'm never going to be able to get the girl I want to get. All those types of things, right? Well, here's the deal. You can do that, but you have to take incremental steps for that to happen. And don't let yourself get bogged down about the overall goal. That's your macro goal. Whatever the end game is, that's your macro goal. Everything before that is your micro goals. Be reaching for that next micro goal. Then you have a sense of satisfaction. And as you're knocking those things off the list, you're getting closer and closer and closer to accomplishing that macro goal that you're setting out to reach. Look, if you're trying to make $1 million, you can't make $1 million without making your first 100, right? Unless you're, I guess, you know, a scratch off lottery ticket or something. But, you know, if you're really out there trying to make money like that and trying to get $1 million, chances are you're out here investing, you're doing whatever, you're making the moves that you need to make. You need to make that first 100, then that next 1,000, then 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, right? All those things are, once you do that, eventually you're going to meet that goal. But you can't do it without having a starting place first and start knocking those little micro goals out of the way. All right. And then you have that sense of satisfaction. You accomplish things. You're showing yourself, I can do this. I can accomplish things. All right. So we're going to see you in the next tip. Let's get it. Number three, be realistic. All right. Some people might look at this and say, oh, that's limiting beliefs and things like that. But listen, man, look, if you don't have any arms, you're not going to be a quarterback. All right. If you were born in a foreign country, you're never going to be president of the United States. It's just not going to happen. All right. So don't set yourself up for disaster or being disappointed because your goals are ridiculous. I'm going to make $1 billion in my first year of business. I mean, look, that's respectable that you have such lofty expectations of yourself. However, if you're setting yourself up for something that's never ever going to happen, don't be surprised if you don't ever get it, okay? So make your goals realistic, on a realistic timetable, all right? Hey, look, maybe you can be president of the United States, but you got to run for city council first. All right, I mean, there's things that you have to, we talked about micro and macro goals, okay? Now, you know, Grant Cardone has a book called The 10X, all right? What he's basically saying is, if you want to make $10 million, then you need to put in the work effort to make $100 million. Because even though you make that 10 million and you might make 20 million, double what your initial goal was, all right, you're still not reaching that 100 million, but you're doing better than what you would have set for yourself anyway. That I do believe in, okay? However, if it's just something that's never ever going to happen, don't get caught in trying to make something work that you're just spinning your wheels, all right? So hopefully that's not too much of a disappointment or anything like that, but I do believe that being realistic is a good way to accomplish goals that make sense. All right. Okay, we're going to hop into the next tip. Let's get it. Number 4, visualize your goals. This harkens back to the very first tip that we talked about, okay? Get a vision board. What is a vision board? Well, you get a board together and everything that you visualize your life being like when you accomplish that goal, have that on that vision board. Study it, learn it, know it. That way it's internalized. That way you know exactly what you're trying to get. And as a side note, if you know different parts of your goal, your overall macro goal, there might be alternative ways of getting there that you wouldn't have thought of if you didn't visualize it. I want to be $1 million. I better invest in stock. Okay, well, maybe there's other ways. Maybe you invest in Bitcoin. Maybe you start a franchise of a Subway or something like that. There's all kinds of ways of doing it, okay? But if you don't really visualize it and you think, this is the only way, this is the path right here, okay? Well, look, it might be that path, but it could be another path. So by visualizing it, having a vision board, you're going to be able to recognize the other paths as well and see what makes the most sense for you. All right, we're going to hop into the next tip. Let's go. Number 5, and this is probably the most important tip in this video. Take action. Look, you can have paralysis by analysis if you just sit around and try to plot and plan and scheme and try to figure out what's the best approach, and then you just never do anything. All right, do something. And even by doing something and failing, you're seeing, okay, what can you improve on? What could be changed? What could make this work? All right, I mean, it's a tale as old as time, but like Thomas Edison with the light bulb, you know, trying 1,000 different ways until he finally succeeded. This is no different, right? He's just marking off the list what's not working, process of elimination, until something eventually works, okay? This is no different than that. Just take action. Do something. Start moving into one of those micro goals. Start making some forward momentum and start accomplishing some of the things that you're setting out to do. And then you'll see that you can do that and you'll keep it moving right until your macro goal is reached. All right, guys, so listen, this video harkens to a video we did a little while back on what do you want, the 5 tips to accomplish what it is that you want. All right, so what I want you to do is go really deep on what it is that you want. And that video is the perfect way to do that. We go really deep on it, and it helps you establish what your goals should look like. All right, so we'll see you there. Can't wait.